This episode is brought to you in part by Hybrid Light. Durable, environmentally friendly, and guaranteed for life. Visit hybridlight.com. And Sheffield Financial. Specialized equipment financing for work, play, and everything in between. Visit sheffieldfinancial.com.
Hey folks, welcome to this episode of Legends of the Outdoors TV. This morning, Billy Blakely and I have a special guest, Mr. Will Fowler of Frogg Toggs. Will, thanks for coming this morning.
Thanks for having us.
We're going to head out on Reelfoot Lake here and see if we can catch some fish. We're going to have a great time. We're going to talk to Will about Frogg Toggs and about how his family started that business and where it's come from and where it's going. I know you'll enjoy it. Stick around and we'll see you in just a minute out on the water.
5 a.m. can't come soon enough for folks like these. There's more than just a job to do, so they hit their knees. They sure take pride in everything they do. And there's no challenge that they won't work through. So they tirelessly keep going on. They work their fingers to the bone. They spend way too much time in the field and away from home. You can be sure they know what all this hard work is for. So now we honor you as legends, legends of the outdoors.
Hey folks, we're out here on the water now with Billy Blakely and my good friend Will Fowler of Frogg Toggs. Will, man, it's great to have you up here and fishing with me and Billy. I know you and I have got to hunt together. We dove hunted down there in your dove field in Alabama, but now we're getting to go fishing, and I think you probably love to fish more than you do like to hunt.
Well, I wouldn't pass up an opportunity, I promise you. I've been, in the outdoors since I was big enough to get in the outdoors, I mean, grew up on a beef and row crop farm in North Alabama, and just, we were not really subsistence hunters and fishermen, but I mean, a lot of our protein came from stuff that we caught or trapped or shot. So, I mean, it's a big part of the way I grew up, and it's just great to be up here with you and Billy and at Blue Bank Resort. Man, what a beautiful place.
Oh, absolutely. I love coming to Blue Bank and eating that great food. And, we talk about it all the time, that if you come to Blue Bank, you're not going to go away hungry, I promise you. And you and I met in Indianapolis back, years and years ago. I'm not going to say how far ago because I don't want everybody to know our age. But we met.
I was just a kid then.
You was just a kid.
I was a baby.
You was just a kid. And, but you had this rain suit. And I come by your booth. Actually, I think you were right across from our booth. And you had this rain suit, and tell us a little bit about that and how it got started.
Well, I was in college at the University of Alabama. I was close to my parents, and Dad calls. He said, "Hey, I got something I want to send down there for you to look at." He mailed me this package, and I opened it, and I thought, well, we've made a jacket out of paper towels. Is what we've done here. And package contained a little pullover jacket and a little pair of pants, and I took it out and tried it out, and I mean, come to find out, it was really, really waterproof, super lightweight, breathable. And so I called him back and I said, yes, the material's waterproof, the seams are not, so I mean, you got to do something there if you want to make serious rain gear with it, right? He talked to the manufacturer, who was also, it was a company there in North Alabama that built, safety and protective apparel. This was a fabric that they had developed for surgeons in infectious environments, and it happened to be impervious to AIDS, Ebola, hepatitis, blood and body fluids, that sort of thing. Back then, we didn't have PPE, personal protective equipment, but that's basically what this was PPE for surgeons in infectious environments. Well, it turned out not to be a big hit with the medical community, but one of their salesmen said, "Hey, can I make some consumer products out of that?" And that's sort of where Dad and his partners came in. That's really how Frogg Toggs started, was from medical PPE fabric built for surgeons in infectious environments. And you know, they started making consumer apparel and sent it to me. Through my ties in the outdoor industry, I got some products to some people like Bill Dance, Basil Bacon, and other guys like that. Mr. Morris and Bass Pro Shops was our first national customer, and they are the ones that really put Frogg Toggs on the maps. We're very appreciative of their organization and of the man in particular for that. And they're still a great customer of ours to this day.
Hey folks, come on back in just a minute. We're going to talk more with Will Fowler about Frogg Toggs and how they got started and where they're at today.
Tired of pushing that old lawnmower? Don't go another season without the equipment you need to do the jobs that are important to you. At Sheffield Financial, we specialize in helping our customers get what they need. The easy application and fast approval process makes financing your outdoor power equipment easy. Don't go another season without the equipment you need. Check out SheffieldFinancial.com today.
Man, we've got two of the most wonderful people here with us.
We really do.
Terry Peterson and his daughter Cheyenne. Of course, two of my favorite lights is the hat light that you're wearing,
right,
and this mammoth light right here. Now there's something special about this light.
Well, everything is a lifetime guarantee and never replace a battery, never buy a battery again. And they're solar powered. It also has the USB ports that are in and out, so you can put power in with your cell phone charger, and also then it's a power bank to charge your cell phone. Use the best quality ingredients to get the best product out of it.
This segment is brought to you in part by Mossy Oak. No one knows hunters like Mossy Oak. Visit mossyoak.com. And Frogg Toggs. Breathable, affordable, and lightweight. Visit frogtoggs.com.
Hey, we're back with Will Fowler and Billy Blakely. Will, you were talking about Frogg Toggs and kind of how you got started, and I remember when I first seen the Frogg Toggs rain suit, I thought it was made out of that same stuff that they made the envelopes out for the U.S. mail, you know, because that's about what it looked like. But I remember you gave me a suit of them, and I come home and started guiding that spring, and it started raining one day, and I put a suit of them on just to drive back to the dock. Man, I stayed dry. A few days later, you had sent me two more suits, and me and two of my customers was out fishing crappie on Kentucky Lake, and all the other guides went in when it started raining, and we put them suits on. We stayed out there, and we wound up catching a limit of crappie. Man, I was hooked from then on. I knew that I was going to have a set of Frogg Toggs in my boat wherever I went. Fish on. All right. That's a good one. Let me get mine out of the way here.
Pretty channel cat.
Hey, little baddie.
What do you think? That's a pretty one, isn't it?
That is a pretty one. Abby Jo kissed hers yesterday.
Well, here.
No, I'm not into that.
Huh?
I'm not into that.
Oh, why'd you tell the story?
I thought you was gonna kiss it.
You keeping that, or we gonna put him back?
We'll let him go.
All right. Beautiful fish.
All right, way to go.
Thank
way to
you.
go.
Thank you. the mission for Frogg Toggs was to keep common folks comfortable during their outdoor pursuits. That's really what it was. And when we say common folks, I mean, we didn't go after somebody else's product. We just wanted money that had never been spent for a product in a segment that was, you know, didn't have a lot of competition in it. It was either really, really cheap stuff or really, really expensive stuff. Our goal is, number one, make sure the product performs well for the price point, and number two, make sure the price point is affordable for everyone that needs a product in that performance range. And then number three, provide really, really good service to the customers, so that if they have a problem or an issue or a question, that, you know, they can call us and talk to somebody the first try.
Right.
And get the answers they need, whether it be a replacement or a different size or a different color or a question about how to care for it, or, you know, I mean, people lose hoods on the zip-off hood model. Some guys just need, hey, I lost my hood, how do I get another one? Well, we're happy to, you know, provide that for you. We just, you know.
Well, speaking of diversifying, you guys went from pretty much one product. I was down in your warehouse here just a few months ago. And man, I tell you what, you can play football in one of your warehouses.
Well, yeah, we may have gone a little bit crazy there on the product building. No, we, you know, over the years, it becomes obvious that, you know, there's so many different things you can do in the outdoors, and one product just doesn't cover all the bases. And so, yeah, it's diversified over the years, and you know, we've made some really great products, and we've made some pretty terrible ones too. The problem is, if you don't make the terrible ones, you don't make the really great ones.
You don't know what the good ones are.
So,
yeah.
You know, it's kind of a give and take. And so for anybody out there that got any of the terrible ones, I apologize to you, because yeah, there were some pretty bad ones. But you know, we try to take care of those customers that got some of those. You know,
well,
that's
heard.
Just business.
I've heard Billy Blakely say several times, you got to go fishing on the bad days to understand how good the good days really are.
That's right.
And,
right.
Well, folks, we're going to come back in just a minute with Will, and we're going to talk about waterfowl hunting, and we'll see you in just a minute. Hey folks, I want to tell you about a brand new reel and gun oil created by my friend Jeff Milam called 80 Below. Jeff, tell me a little bit about the product.
80 Below is a product that's built to really withstand Mother Nature. Anything it throws at it, minus 80 degrees on the cold side and up to 465 high side. Really, if you like to hunt cold weather or fish in cold weather, it's an excellent product.
80 Below gun and reel oil. You got to have this if you hunt and fish.
Tired of pushing that old lawnmower? Don't go another season without the equipment you need to do the jobs that are important to you. At Sheffield Financial, we specialize in helping our customers get what they need. The easy application and fast approval process makes financing your outdoor power equipment easy. Don't go another season without the equipment you need. Check out SheffieldFinancial.com today.
This segment is brought to you in part by B&M Poles, the leading crappie pole in the world. Visit bnmpoles.com. And Vortex Optics. Life happens, which is why Vortex products come with an unlimited lifetime warranty. Visit vortexoptics.com.
we're back with my friend Will Fowler of Frogg Toggs. Billy Blakely's sitting over here. Billy is fishing his heart out trying to catch one. Will's done caught one, and so Billy's trying to up that just a little bit. But Will, I wanted to talk to you about waterfowl hunting because I know that's a passion of yours as well as mine and Billy's. And you've developed some really neat products for waterfowl hunters. And I know you're very proud of what you got.
Yes, sir. We have a very diversified camo waterfowl line that, you know, obviously it includes really great waders in several different materials, jackets, coats, hand warmers, really solid, you know, waterproof gun cases. I know it's a small thing.
Floating waterproof gun cases.
Yes. They will float a shotgun long enough for you to recover it, absolutely, right. Yes, and they are 100% waterproof. And that seems like a small thing, and it's a small piece of kit, but you know, with the investment that hunters these days are having to make in their waterfowl shotguns, that shotgun, as far as your personal kit, is probably the most expensive thing you got. So,
right.
You know, protecting that investment, taking care of it, and just honestly, I think we got the best gun case that you can get for that. That being said, you know, the highlight for the Frogg Toggs line is obviously the Refuge and Legend and, you know, the insulated breathable waders. There's an interesting problem with them though. Waders that leak aren't really good for anything.
Right.
Well, an insulated breathable wader that leaks, there's no way to repair it.
Right.
Because you can't determine exactly where the leak
leaking,
is without cutting the insulation out of it, and then there's no way to sew it back in.
Right.
So when we first started building breathable insulated waders, we had a pretty high incidence of leakage with them. So we were literally physically testing every single pair in these big wading pools like you buy, you know, to put in your backyard in the summer, the 4-foot tall ones.
Now wait a minute, I got to ask you a question. All these waders are coming in different sizes. Did you have different people with different foot sizes?
We had an entire team that did nothing for 8 to 10 hours a day. Men, women, girls, I mean, that's all they do. They'd go to the wader test tank. We'd have the waders grouped in sizes, and they were required to put this wader on, our original Grand Refuge wader. They were required to put this wader on.
Billy, I found us a summer job.
And walk around in the tank for a minimum of 10 to 15 minutes. We were just sitting around one day and I was like, guys, there's gotta be a better way. And they couldn't test them at the factory like that. They didn't have the personnel, they didn't have the time.
Right.
So we were having to, I mean, we weren't gonna send out a bad product. I've got pictures of it. We're tested every single pair in a swimming pool that we'd fill up and wear the waders in. And we did that for weeks on end to test all these waders we had coming. Our manufacturing guys sat down with our sales guys and we were talking with our manufacturing partners overseas, and they were like, why don't we just put an internal zipper at each ankle and one at the chest, and then when you get a leaky one, you can just zip the liner out and use the air tank, you know, pressurize the wader to submerge it and see where the leak is.
Right.
And we're like, well, how much does that cost? They're like, 50 cents for the zippers and an extra $1.50 to sew them in. You know, and we were like, well, okay, we can try that, you know. So they built some samples and sent it over. And all at the same time, me and a couple of guys at duck hunt looked at each other and I was like, y'all, do y'all realize what we just did?
Yeah, I know what you're fixing to say.
I mean, we just built a wading system that you can use for early wood duck and
year-round wader.
Early Canada,
yep.
You know, South Texas, Mexico, and then put a liner in it and go stand in the green timber in Arkansas for 3 or 4 hours without getting caught. I mean, I was like, we need to see if we can patent this. So that's what we did. We called our IP attorney and said, hey, is this patentable? And he was like, should be, let's try it. So we did, got the patent issued for it. And so we built a wading system, had a zip in, zip out, insulated liner. It's sort of a point of pride with us that we were like, hey, you know, we're not the sharpest spoon in the shed or the sharpest rake in the drawer, however that saying goes, but you know, we did something pretty cool for the waterfowl hunter.
Absolutely. Congratulations on a great product and a lot of great products. Folks, when we come back, we're going to finish our talk with Will. We're going to get to fishing right now, and we'll see you in just a moment after these messages. Hey Abby, I want to tell you about a really neat contest that we're running on Legends of the Outdoors TV for our sponsor, Hybrid Lights. Anyone that's watching our show after episode 6 can go on hybridlight.com and say, I seen the light or I found the light. Every episode, we're going to have a hybrid light somewhere in that episode. And when you see it, you click on hybridlight.com and tell them that you've seen the light and where you've seen it at. And that will automatically put you in for a contest where one winner will win a great box full of hybrid light products.
Wow, whoever wins is lucky.
They are lucky, and I tell you what, this is some of the neat products. You can charge your phone with these.
Wow.
They charge, most of their products charged by solar or through plugging them into the wall through a USB port or just a straight plug. So hybridlights.com, click on it and find out all about the Legends of the Outdoors TV. I found the light. Hey folks, I want to introduce you to a brand new product created by my friend Steve Mosley. Steve, BioPro Green was created by you. Tell us a little bit about what it does and why.
BioPro Green is made from a specialized group of products that helps enhance your food plot. It increases the protein, it increases the biomass, and it will help draw wildlife to your food plot.
BioPro Green will enhance your food plots and help bring wildlife to your properties.
This segment is brought to you in part by Paris Henry County Chamber of Commerce. For more information, visit paristnchamber.com. And Mossberg. Safety and safe firearm handling is everyone's responsibility. Visit mossberg.com.
Will, I know your dad's been a great part of the Frogg Toggs family. You know, he kind of helped get this thing started, and Mr. Phil is a great man. He's pretty much turned over all the reins to you, though, and you're running the company now. But how's he doing, and what's his take on the future for Frogg Toggs?
You know, I mean, he still sits in the big office and gets the big check. You know, he comes to work every day. You know, he's 78. But he's still going strong, and he was successful, you know, long before Frogg Toggs. He joined the military right out of high school. My grandfather, his dad was a major when he graduated. He likes to tell a story. He said, I graduated from high school in Arab on Friday, and he said Saturday morning, he said, my daddy swore me in at Fort Benning, Georgia.
Oh, wow.
He said, I got on the bus that night, went down there, and he said his dad swore him in. And you know, Granddad was a World War II vet and retired a colonel from the U.S. Army, and then started the Army National Guard in Arab, Alabama. And today we have Fort Wilbur B. Fowler there in town, named after him.
Named after your granddad.
For starting, you know, for bringing the National Guard to Arab.
Right.
Right after World War II. And Dad was, you know, he was a Vietnam era serviceman, and he retired a major. Dad, after he left the military, went to college. He got his degree at the University of Alabama. Left there, went to TVA, and did all the right-of-way work for TVA from LBL, Kentucky, down to the Tennessee River at Florence. I mean, it sounds like he worked for TVA, but in essence, what he was doing was trying to get the most money he could, really, for those condemnations, for those power line, those transmission line right-of-ways.
Well, you told me a story one time about him working somewhere between the lakes and Pickwick, and he had a government vehicle. Talk a little bit about that.
So, yeah,
this is back in the early 70s, right?
Yeah, late 60s, early 70s. So Dad had a TVA car, which is a federal government agency, so it had a federal tag on it. When he first started his work, he was kind of in between the hills of Tennessee and Kentucky there. He said the first day after they'd given that government car those federal plates, he got back and he said all 4 tires were flat, and he said there wasn't a window in it that wasn't busted out.
Somebody thought he was a revenue, didn't they?
So he called the sheriff and said, hey, somebody's vandalized my car. The sheriff said, somebody? He said, son, everybody that drove past that thing's vandalized. He said, you can't park a federal car up here. Look at Billy.
Look at Billy, got one on. Look at him. Back there showing out. Here, let me grab that net.
I got you.
All right, good deal. Let's see if I can get this net turned around here, Billy.
There we go.
Even a blind hog can find an acorn every now and then.
That's right. Let's take a look at that fish. Well, that's another pretty one.
Yeah.
Y'all do
Nice.
have good looking fish up here.
Will, we had a great day today.
Oh, absolutely wonderful day, Gary. I mean, you know, worth the trip every time we come up here to Blue Bank, fish with Billy Blakely and these guys, and facilities are outstanding. The food's always top notch. Service is out of this world. And I mean, what more beautiful place in the world could you sit and enjoy an afternoon?
Well, I know that's right. You know, we caught a few fish. We had a great time. We got out and explored the area, seen a few things, and man, the people over here are so nice, and everything is just beautiful. This time of year, fall day, I mean, you couldn't ask for anything
Oh,
better.
really? Yeah, the weather's perfect. And you know, honestly, you think of Reelfoot Lake as fishing community, hunting community, but man, there's a lot of great stuff to see within just a few minutes of the resort here. I mean, that's just so much to do. And I mean, we got out for just a few hours and got to see a couple of really cool things and do some neat stuff. And I mean, there's plenty to do here other than just hunt and fish.
Oh, absolutely. And you know, I know you're going to come back and waterfowl hunt with us this winter. We'll get back over here to Blue Bank Resort. We'll go out to Billy's duck blind and we'll have a great time. So we hope that you can join us. We hope the folks out there at home will join us as well, Will. Until next time, man, thanks for coming. Folks, we'll see you on the next episode of Legends of the Outdoors TV. Until then, God bless and have a great day.
This episode was brought to you in part by Hybrid Light. Durable, environmentally friendly, and guaranteed for life. Visit hybridlight.com. And Sheffield Financial, specialized equipment financing for work, play, and everything in between. Visit sheffieldfinancial.com.